we're just obsessed with customer service. And you can really ask any of my team members. It's really important that we go out of our way for every regulator and every supplier. We walk through walls to get them what they need. And that is something that I've always been really passionate about. Bad customer service cannot stand. And everybody here at GLI currently focuses on customer service 365 days a year.
I was working in New York City as a computer programmer when James graduated Lehigh as a computer engineer. And he went to work directly for the New Jersey Division of Gaming Enforcement right out of school. I really was trying to find a different job. And he was working in Atlantic City and told me about an opening for a computer specialist that I ended up applying for, and we ended up working together.
With the passage of the Indian Gaming Regulatory Act, the question was, how are all these devices going to be tested around the United States? And if every state and every tribe opened their own lab, the suppliers would have to submit equipment to every tribe, every state, multiple labs, and the cost would be cost prohibitive. So we thought about modeling our company based on an independent lab where we would essentially be Switzerland and people could send their equipment to a single place where it could be tested against multiple standards. And then we could see that it was happening when we met with the South Dakota Lottery. They had asked us, we'd like you to set up a lab. And I was sort of hesitant at the time because I was in law school, and they really pushed and said, we think you should do this. So the idea formally was conceived in the St. Charles Hotel in Pierce, South Dakota in early 1989.
At that point, I think we only had 3 jurisdictions: South Dakota Lottery, South Dakota Gaming, and Louisiana Video Poker. And then our first Native American contract came with the state of Minnesota. The manufacturers actually suggested that we look into worldwide opportunities, and because we were providing a service that they needed and wanted. And if they could submit testing to just one lab instead of multiple labs, it would be beneficial for them as well. And that's when things started to get a little bit busy just for 2 of us. So.
I think the first 10 years was super fun. We didn't have the internet, and we didn't have ways of searching where gambling bills were going to happen. So we used a newspaper called the USA Today. And in the back of the USA Today, they had these little state blurbs as what was happening in every state. And then we would just run out to the airport and jump on a plane. And I remember having to fly out on Saturday night because back then you could get a cheaper airfare if you flew over a Saturday night. And we didn't have enough money to travel midweek because it was way too expensive. So we would go out on a Saturday night to some random capital, and we would show up on Monday morning and have meetings with people that were thinking about drafting gambling bills. So we were at downtown Toms River, and we started out, I forget the suite number, Suite S, I think it was maybe. And then we sort of moved from suite to suite. We just kept adding random rooms in this building. And we had all of our employees just scattered all over this building. And
then we finally took over the first floor.
Right.
All the first floor.
And then we went from 26 Main Street to 28 to 30. So we just started literally going up and down the block, just renting suites because there wasn't enough room. And then we figured we had to go to Lakewood, or we had to move somewhere. And nothing in Toms River. And the Lakewood people came together with a really good plan. I remember moving into Lakewood thinking, we're never going to fill this building up. Why did we build this huge building? We only had maybe 25, 30 employees at the time.
No, we had
maybe
at least
more,
50.
But
we had at least 50.
It was not that many.
Because we couldn't have parking in Toms River for the 50 people.
Oh, that's right.
That was when we got to the limit. It was like.
And then I think within 2 years, the building was completely filled. And then we had to build on, and luckily, Paul and I thought about the future, and we bought the lot next door at the same time, so that we bought 2 lots together. And so we almost immediately started building the second building. I feel great about the business that we built, but it's the business that we built, right? It's not the business that Paul and I built. It's the business that today 1,200 plus employees work at. So we did not build it alone. We had lots of help along the way. If we can do better tomorrow than we did today, and do better the next day, in 30 years we'll look back and say, you know what? We're 30 more years down the road. And I look at the business in just doing the right thing every day, and everything else will take care of itself. GLI is a personal services company, and that means it's personal services delivered by all of our team members, right? And so what I would say to them is keep being client obsessed, keep being client focused, focus on what the client's needs are, and if we continue to do that, and we have a lot of fun at it, the next 30 years is going to be great.
I've just been lucky to have James as my partner for 30 years. I've been lucky to have my family support me, my wife and my kids, and I'm just so happy to have been a part of this and been able to say, I kind of helped create it, and I just look forward to many more years. But thank you to all our staff and everybody that's involved with GLI. It's amazing.